What's up, Guardians? It's your boy Doodle from Doodles of Destiny, and today I want to talk about Destiny 2's newest dungeon, Grasp of Avarice. But before I get into it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to receive Destiny 2 news, tricks and tips, and all sorts of Destiny 2 content. Now when you first load into this dungeon, you will be on the Cosmodrome, right outside the old Destiny 1 loot cave. Your goal here is to defeat the hive and pick up the engrams they drop. Picking up these engrams will give you the debuff Burdened by Riches. You will then see a timer appear for about 30 seconds on your screen. If that timer ever hits 0, you will wipe. The goal here is to stack multiple buffs and stand next to the large crystal in the loot cave. Doing this will dump your debuff energy into the crystal. Once you have dumped enough energy into the crystal, the floor in front will open up and drop you into the next encounter. After you have dropped down and zigzagged your way through tunnels and defeated some hive, you will eventually get to a large opening where you can see out into the Cosmodrome. Jump down to the bottom of the canyon and progress forwards until you've reached the Rusted Gangplank. This part of the dungeon is sort of a puzzle in which you will have to guess the right switch to open the door. Hitting the wrong switch means death, and be very wary of plates that are hidden on the floor. They will also kill you if stepped on. The switch you want to activate in this room is at the end of the railing to the second room on the right. You will then jump over this plate and activate the switch you see in the back of the room. From here you will leave the room and enter through a pipe that is opened. You will see a platform in the center pretending not to be a trapdoor. Jump onto this platform, turn right, drop down into this room where you will see your next switch. After you have activated that switch, make your way back up to the entrance of this room and enter the previous room. As you walk in, look up. You will see 6 pipe entrances that have opened up. Upon entering the room, the pipe that won't kill you is on the first on your left. Inside this pipe will be a hole in the ceiling which you will take to your next encounter. After you've climbed your way up and across a few trapdoors, you will see your next switch, which will bring you to the next part of the dungeon. This part of the dungeon is also a puzzle. In this puzzle, you will be searching for a switch throughout 10 small rooms by opening and closing doors. When you first enter facing the room, with the doors on your left and right, the door you will need to get to will be the furthest door on your left. In there you will find a switch that opens a ceiling compartment, which will allow you to summon the hive and open the large bay door directly across from you. Defeat the hive and activate the final switch and head through the door directly across from you to begin your next encounter. Your next encounter will also be a puzzle in which you will have to search this circle room for switches. These switches will spawn hive into the room that you will have to defeat while looking for the Fallen with the Scorch Cannon. Once you have the Scorch Cannon, look for the Fallen Energy Reactor. You will then charge up your shot and shoot the reactor, which will open the door to your next encounter. However, before you progress forward in the circle room, you will find a secret chest up above on one of the columns toward the center of the room, so make sure you grab this before you move on to your next encounter. After that, you will run up a slope with some Indiana Jones type trap, and into a room with some stacked boxes going up into an air vent. Follow the path and jump across this gap and you will find yourself ready for the first boss fight of this dungeon. Now the mechanics here are a combination of the first encounter outside in the Cosmodrome and in the circle room. Your goal here is to defeat the Fallen Vandal with the Scorch Cannon and open the bay doors which will release the hive. You will need to destroy these hive enemies to gather up the debuff Burdened by Riches and dump it into the crystal at the front of the room. Once you have dumped enough energy into the crystal, the ogre's shield will drop and be ready for DPS. Rinse and repeat until you have vanquished this insatiable ogre. From here you will be in the Sparrow Race encounter, in which you will have to pass through fallen mines to progress forwards. Your goal in this encounter is to pass under the fallen mines before the time allotted has expired. If you do not make it to the mine in time, or you get shot by too many fallen enemies, you will die. Your goal here is to race and deactivate 4 different mines numbered A, B, C, and D. Once you have reached the last mine and defeated the fallen there, you will have ended this part of the encounter. Before you move on, if you look in the left cave eye above where you landed, you will find another secret chest. From here, you will drop down through some geodes into the next part of this dungeon. Here you will have to destroy fallen vandals in order to get a Scorch Cannon to jump around from island to island, looking for fallen servitors called Abundance Monitors. To defeat them, however, you must collect enough of the debuff Burdened by Riches by killing the fallen enemies that spawn around it. Once you have deposited enough energy into the crystal and taken out the servitor's shield, you must then defeat it and walk it over to the gravity cannon you have been using your Scorch Cannon to power. Aim it at the fallen ship in the center, power up the cannon and launch the servitor, and you will destroy some of the fallen shield. After you launch a few more servitors at the fallen ship and destroy the shield, you will see your next chest. After you've picked up your loot, you will position the gravity cannon up towards the mouth of the ship. Then you will fire yourselves up into the lair of Captain Avarice, the Covetous, and face your final encounter. This final boss fight is basically a mix of the same mechanics that have been throughout this entire dungeon. Find the Scorch Cannon, shoot the energy converters, and kill enemies for Burdened by Riches to deposit it back into the crystal. But while you are doing this, you will have the boss Captain Avarice and two mini-bosses Gristbacks, Bossin of Avarice, and the fallen sniper Shank RM80 loyal to Avarice. I would recommend dealing with these mini-bosses as soon as possible, as they can be quite annoying when trying to deposit your debuff. Once you have deposited enough energy into the crystal, the boss will teleport behind you and be vulnerable for DPS. Do this a few times and you will have defeated the fallen Captain Avarice, the Covetous, and claim your final chest. Anyways, Guardians, that's all the time I have to focus on this dungeon. If you find this video useful or informative, hit the like button and leave a comment down below. And as always, this is Doodle from Doodles of Destiny.